Hey, it's Kori Akemi, and today we're going to talk about what it means to listen to yourself. What does that even mean, and how do you do it? That's what we're going to talk about today in this video. And I have a story to share with you. So I love spirituality. I love esoteric concepts like law of attraction. I love motivational speaking. I love it. It's my thing. It's my gift. It's what I'm good at. I get it. It just comes naturally to me. And it was unfortunate because I grew up in a household that told me that my love of spirituality, self-help, motivational speaking was going to get me nowhere. It was a waste of my time and I should be studying something else. So I was ashamed of what I loved. I was ashamed of myself for a long time because I knew what I loved, but I denied it. And I always denied. I was like, no, I don't really love spirituality and self-help. I really don't. I denied myself loving what I loved because my family, I didn't want to be seen as less than in my family. I wanted my family's approval so bad that I was willing to deny myself what I loved. I was denying myself my gift and what I was good at. I did that so that way I could get the approval of my family and the love from them. And throughout my journey and throughout the years, I had to learn how to love myself. I had to learn how to not expect or require that validation from my family in order to love myself. And that's what I had to learn. For me, I knew that this was my gift this was what I was good at back in high school. That was like the real big alarm bells. That was a big sign to myself that this was what I actually love to do. And so this is how I knew that this is what I love to do. I went to my friend's house for like a sleepover party or something. I forget, birthday party, sleepover party, something like that. And I went to the kitchen of my friend's house, and the parents had a book on the table. And it was Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. And I looked at the book and I said, wow, you guys have that book? I have it too. And I'm talking to the parents, right? And the parents of my friends were like, you know this book? And I was like, yeah, I love this book. And they were like, do you know what it means? Like, we don't get it. My friends' parents did not understand what the spiritual self-help book was about. But me at 15, I was like, no, I understand what this book is about. And me as a 15-year-old girl, I was explaining to them the concepts in this book. And it was in that moment that I knew that there was something different about me. That was how I knew that my life, that was a sign to myself that my life was going to involve topics such as Eckhart Tolle's book, and that my life and what I was going to do with my life had to do with this type of content, this type of work. And it was that because I was a teenager and I was explaining it to adults who didn't understand, it was like a wake-up call to me, like, oh my God, like, hold on, I'm 15, 16, and you guys don't get it, but I get it. Something's up here. Something is going on that, now looking back, that was one of the big moments that I knew that this was my calling, or this was my passion. And it's those moments like that with my friend's family that I knew that I was different, and that this is what my life was going to be about. So what I want you to do is, I want you to think about the moments in your life that maybe you denied or that you were in denial, but even though I want you to think about the moments in your life, like the one that I just told you about, that were so profound and so like eye-opening to yourself, that, hey, this is different. This is what I love. And this is a sign, this is a moment that is showing me that this is actually something that I'm good at. I'm sure you watching this video have had those moments in your life, but you have to sit down and think about it and be honest. And for me, the reason why I had a hard time accepting that I love self-help and spirituality is because my family, kind of looked down upon it. So for you, if you're watching this, when you think and you reflect back on your life, think about, do you have to let go of what what people want you to be, what the world expects of you, what your parents expect of you, what your siblings expect of you. You have to let that go and kind of journal and write down, look back on your life and really reflect and think back on the moments that were eye-opening and life-changing, like the one that I just explained to you now. And do it without judgment, and don't be in denial like I was. You know, be open and honest with yourself and real. And I'm sure that something's going to come out in your journaling and in your reflecting of yourself. And hopefully that's going to lead you towards the next step to discovering yourself and finding out what you are meant to do, or what you love to do and what your passion is. So let's just talk about some strategies and ways for you to kind of help you get in touch with what you already know to be true about yourself. Number one, do not wait for the approval of your parents to love what you love to do. You can't wait for your parents, you can't wait for the world, you can't wait for your friend, you can't wait for your sister, you can't wait for everybody to love what you do in order for you to kind of have the permission to love what you love. It just doesn't work that way. You know, you can't wait for them. You have to own and love what you love first. And that's what I did. And the benefits of that is that I feel like I taught my parents and my family something about motivational speaking, self-help, and spirituality. I feel like as the years gone on, as the years passed, I taught them something, and I in fact was their greatest teacher. Just as much as my parents taught me about life, I taught them about what I love to do in my life, and eventually that kind of like almost has healed itself. I feel like my parents, my family, they're still like on the fence about what I do and what I love to do, but they're not as, you know, like in my story, they were just so against it. I don't feel like that anymore. And that's because I held my ground and I accepted it first within myself. I didn't wait for them. I did it. And because I accepted it, they accepted that about me. They had no choice but to, you know, as time went on. It takes a while though, so be patient. So, you know, don't expect your parents to kind of come, or your family to be like, yeah, we love what you do. You know, you may never get that, but you may get some sort of understanding from them as time goes on. And that's not a bad thing either, you know, because you can't expect everybody to love what you love the way that you love it. That's just not how it works. So don't wait for anybody to give you the permission to love what you love to do. Do not wait. You just do it yourself first. So number two, when you reflect on your life, remember the moments that clearly told you, your feelings, your gut instinct told you what you were supposed to be doing and what you weren't supposed to be doing. Because the story that I shared with you earlier about the Eckhart Tolle book, yeah, that's not the first time something like that happened to me. It was multiple, like repetitive times, you know, of me knowing what I was supposed to be. Like that's just one story. I have other stories too, and I want to share with you, like, oh man, you know, when I went to my first chem lab in college, oh my gosh, like, oh, I knew that I wasn't supposed to be there. Like, I knew that I wasn't going to do that for the rest of my life. I mean, that was like the feeling that I had in my stomach. It was like in my gut. It was gut wrenching. It was like I looked at the chem lab, I saw the beakers, I saw the notebooks, I saw the sinks, I saw the eye washing station, all that stuff, and I just knew, I was like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. And I remember feeling that way. So pay attention to when you feel like you know what you're not supposed to be doing, because that can help you kind of get a better idea what you're supposed to be doing if you know what you're not supposed to be doing. Like my chem lab story, where I went into the chem lab and I was like, nope, I am not supposed to be here. That's how it felt. So pay attention to both those feelings of, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel comfortable. This is my passion. This makes me feel happy. This makes me feel good. I've done this before kind of feeling. And also pay attention to the feelings of, oh no, I am not supposed to be here. And when you have both those feelings, you know, or both those data, if you want to say, you know, you have a kind of a list of moments in your life when you kind of found what you're supposed to be doing, and moments in your life when you knew what you weren't supposed to be doing. Kind of look at those lists, and that's going to help you gauge and have an idea of what makes you happy and what your passion is and what you love to do in this life. So number 3, some of you watching this video still don't know what your purpose is, and that's completely fine, because I believe that everybody has their own story. Everybody's situation is different. For me, there was clear signs of my purpose or my calling at 15. And for some of you, it may not happen until you're 40, 50, 60. I don't know. It's different for everyone. Everybody has a story and a path. So I would suggest that all you got to do is you can ask yourself the question right now. What do I like to do? What do I enjoy doing? Okay, so you find out, you write it down. I enjoy baking. I do enjoy baking, actually. So that's a good example. I enjoy baking. Now, what you do is you say, I enjoy baking because. Why do I like baking? What about baking makes me feel happy, good, joyful, at peace, blissful? Write all those things down. And when you have that list, then that's going to give you a clearer picture of what your purpose is. So for me, I like baking because I like being creative. I like designing things. I love color. See? So that's kind of me looking at the reasons why. I don't look at baking itself, but I look at the reasons why I like baking. And those reasons can help you understand what your purpose or what your calling or what you like to do in life may be about. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas for new content, maybe something that you want to discuss, leave a message down below. Also, check out my Facebook and my Instagram for more Kori Akemi Transform Your Life advice content. Thank you again for watching this video. Until next time, bye.